What is genius? No, really, what is genius? What does the word genius mean to you? Do you have a visual image of what this person looks like? If you're like most, you see an image of an awkward geek that has broken glasses with tape in the middle. Or you envision a wild-haired Albert Einstein. This is the propaganda that has kept young children from striving to be perceived as extremely smart for eons. It is almost as if smart children have to choose whether to either be seen as cool or smart. We're falsely taught that you can have brains or brawn, but never both. You are either the captain of the football team or the captain of the chess club. One gets all the girls and the other, well, the other gets to play chess. Quite unfair. While we all know this is a myth, most of us subconsciously hold these views from childhood. So many have hindered their intellectual potential because they didn't want to be classified with the geeks. But what is even worse is that some people feel that they are not smart enough to ever be seen as genius. And this is what we are here to address. This backward thinking is due to programming and lack of clarity of the true meaning of genius. Let us take a look at what Webster's dictionary has to say about the definition of the word genius. The first definition of the word genius in the dictionary is an attendant spirit of a person or a place. Wait a minute. A spirit? This sounds a little too spooky to use as a viable definition of genius. People always seem to talk about the intelligence quotient or IQ when they wish to define genius. Perhaps research into the IQ will give us a clear understanding about the true meaning of the word genius. Let's take a look back into time. The first time we see the intelligence test is in 1883 with the cousin of Charles Darwin, Francis Galton. Galton believed in intelligence testing to help breed a so-called master race. Francis Galton is also known for creating eugenics. Eugenics is the plan to bring about a quote-unquote master race by using biased testing to justify the extermination of races that are classified as inferior based on this testing. The next time we see intelligence testing pop up is in France in the year 1899. French psychologists Alfred Binet and Theodore Simon were hired by the government to create a test that will determine what they call the mental age of children returning to school after years unschooled at home. Binet openly expressed his fear of the test being wrongly used to target certain groups. His fears would one day be realized. In the year 1912, Nazi psychologist and eugenicist Wilhelm Stern altered the Binet scale in efforts to target and justify the extermination of Jews in Nazi Germany. It was Stern that coined the term intelligence quotient. The Nazis were firm supporters of Francis Galton and eugenics. The Nazis used the Binet-Simon scale in the very way that Binet had feared. Now, back in the year 1906, Stanford University professor Lewis Terman made adjustments to the Binet-Simon scale and triggered the U.S. to launch its first mass intelligence testing. This new Stanford Binet scale sparked a wave in the U.S. eugenics movement that was funded by the Rockefellers, Carnegies, and supported by staff members from Columbia, Cornell, and Harvard. The Stanford Binet test was first used by the U.S. government to test immigrants and recruits for the First World War. During the first half of the 20th century, IQ testing was used to justify the sterilization of 60,000 Americans, mostly women. As late as 1970, disadvantaged female African Americans, Native Americans, and Latina Americans were sterilized in large numbers by force or without their knowledge, all based on this testing. Wow. It seems that the history of the IQ test is shrouded in too much genocide and discrimination to be taken seriously. This leads us right where we started, trying to figure out what the true meaning of genius is. All of this confusion is an invitation for us to create our own standards and meanings for our own classification of genius. But how will we do that? A good place to start is with the Western world's first fascination with matters of advanced scholarship and what is commonly regarded as genius. And by this we mean the Renaissance era. The Renaissance was a time when Europe, Italy in particular, began to liberate artistically and scientifically from the all-encompassing dominance of the church. At the time, the church was insisting that study remain only on God, not man. We need to define a standard in which to identify our classification of genius with, because currently it seems that most people do not know how to accurately define genius, but they think they know it when they see it in action. We must adhere to stronger standards if we are talking about the measurement of mental capabilities. Do you agree? The concept of the Renaissance was inspired by the Islamic Golden Age under the Abbasid dynasty from the 8th to 13th centuries. The dynasty created a house of wisdom. Christian and Jewish scholars were invited to share their knowledge, which was translated to Arabic books and added to their library. This period gave birth to such discoveries as the universal numeric system used around the world today, pharmacies, hospitals, universal healthcare, universities, the first astronomical observatory, architectural advancements, not to mention a host of scientific, literary, and artistic works. This golden age of Islam coincided with the dark ages of Europe. The obvious advancements were an inspiration to Europe and sparked the Renaissance in Italy from 15th and 16th century. The Renaissance was a time when Europe embraced scholarship, discovery, and artistry in a way that was previously forbidden by the church. The term Renaissance man came from this period. Another word for Renaissance man is polymath. A polymath is a person whose expertise spans a significant number of different subject areas. Such a person will likely flourish at math, science, arts, and social interactions. The Renaissance man, or polymath, was expected to speak several languages, write poetry, play a musical instrument, not to mention possessing above-average scholastic abilities. Now, this sure sounds like a shining example of genius. It is for this reason that these are the principles detailed in the book Quantum Genius, Awaken Your Sleeping Genius by yours truly, R.A. Benson. This book is designed to supercharge and turbo boost your brain to higher levels of performance. So if you are looking for a promotion in your current job, thinking about changing careers, wanting to excel in your studies, looking to learn tricks and secrets of the memory masters and mental giants of the world, Quantum Genius is the owner's manual for a brilliant mind and exactly what you need. Written with entertaining and easy to follow steps that anyone can use to reach greater mental potential. Quantum Genius is proof that smart is cool and practically anyone can tap into genius. Awaken the sleeping genius within and unlock your mastermind. Quantum Genius is available wherever books are sold. Watch this space for exciting videos that will fully activate, educate, motivate, and recalibrate you in every possible way. Until the next time, stay tuned.